So it's June 1st, 2023, and just looked at our CRM for our cleaning business, and we hit $86,000 for the month of May. And so this video is going to be a little different than I normally make. Usually I make videos to try to solve problems and try to help other people. This video, maybe it's more for me to share my thoughts and kind of what I'm feeling on this day. And we hit a milestone. I had a milestone that I set for this cleaning business back when it very began. So if you guys have not heard the story of why we started the cleaning business, but like we started the cleaning business simply as a side hustle. Like it was never meant to be a main thing. And its intention was we build this cleaning business and then we start to build other businesses very similar to it and do a lot of these little businesses that do, $5,000, $10,000 every single month and create a take home of $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 from multiple businesses. And we live this amazing life where we have all these different types of businesses. And that's how the business started. And so when we started the business, again, it started with a really small vision. And we actually started at 6 weeks before we had a month-long trip planned in Austin, Texas. And we were based in Bozeman, Montana. And that's where our cleaning business was started as well. And so we gave ourselves 6 weeks, a legit 6-week hard time that we had to start the business and get it operational and also get employees in seats because we actually were going to be out of the state. So we took on this journey, this challenge of starting a business that we knew nothing about. We had zero experience in, we had zero clients in, and we decided, hey, let's see what we can do. And so that's what we did. And so for this first 6 weeks, I did the sales, I did the marketing, and Katie did all the fulfillment. She did all the cleaning, she learned the systems and processes. I learned the systems and processes for the selling and the marketing. In that 6 week time frame, we had it just good enough that we could leave to go to Texas for the month. And we had an employee who was actually our nanny at the time, and she transitioned into being our first cleaner, Katie D, who is still on our team today. And she is one of the most important humans in my life, someone who I respect super high level. My wife, Katie, transitioned from being a cleaner into doing the sales. And I actually just completely removed myself from the business because I still had my fitness business that I was focusing on and growing on as well. And so that's how the whole thing started. But there was this pivotal moment where I remember going on this walk with Katie. The reason why I went to Texas is because it's way nicer in Texas in December than it is in Montana. And we actually lived on this little island in Texas, Lake Travis. It was like a really cool place. It was like an old retirement home community that they ended up turning into little condos. And it was towards the end of our time in Texas that I remember us being like a little foyer in this apartment complex. There's like big waterfalls, and it was a really cool, really pretty place. And I remember looking at Katie and telling her that I believed that this cleaning company could be $1 million cleaning company. And I felt very hesitant to even say that because we had a fitness business that the most I'd ever done was about $40,000-ish a month. And we still had that business. I could not get it to go. But for some reason, I saw something in this cleaning business. I was like, I believe this business could get us to that $1 million mark. And she kind of looked at me kind of like I was crazy. Like, we just started this cleaning business as a side hustle. Like, it was not meant to be $1 million cleaning business. I was like, that was the first time I saw it. And so fast forward into the month of January. So a little context. So we actually started it in October, but our first full month of operations was November of 2020. And we did a whopping $2,201 in revenue. So the month of December, we actually grew. We grew to $4,500 in revenue. And January is $4,700. February of 2021 was $5,600. March of 2021 was $7,500. April of 21 was $12,500. And May was $16,926. And then June of 21 was $19,529. So that was our first 7 months in business. And so you can see that started out really slow. We started to pick up some steam, and our business did not grow again until March of 2022, right? So almost a whole year, we kind of stayed stagnant at that $20,000 a month mark. And so one of the biggest reasons was that my attention, and even I would say our attention, as far as like me and Katie's attention, was not specifically focused on the cleaning business. While I had seen the vision and the glimpse that it could actually be $1 million cleaning company, I did not act with the commitment that it could be $1 million cleaning company. And so my attention stayed on my fitness business, and it also stayed on me continuing to grow our real estate portfolio. So Katie's job was to actually grow the cleaning company. And this was her first opportunity where she was actually CEO. She was in charge. She was running the show. She She was hiring, she was firing, she was doing team meetings. My attention was like literally zero. So Katie like was actually the one who grew this thing, and like big props to her. Like she's doing amazing, but at this time like she was also just like doing her best, and she's doing what's required. She was growing as an entrepreneur, and it was actually really fun for me to be able to see her take on this journey of entrepreneurship, because it was her first business that like she was growing, and I didn't want to rob that from her to be like to say that, oh, this is Logan's thing. Like while we did it together for sure, like she was definitely the one who was growing it. It honestly like kind of stayed stagnant till about March of 2022, and then March 2022 hit its first $30,000 month, and then August of 2022 it hit its first $40,000 month, which was really cool. And then in between there, we actually got some really good advice from some people who we have a lot of respect for. And that's when, at that moment, we kind of decided to let's actually put some attention on it, let's actually focus on it, and let's actually grow this thing. Because it's growing without a ton of our attention, ton of our focus. If we actually put some attention on it, like do we believe this thing could actually blow up? And we both answered that question of a resounding hell yes. And so I was at that moment that I was like, okay, let's actually do something that is really cool, and let's actually put some attention focus on this. So actually at that point we already had sold the fitness business, and we started focusing, and at that time we also decided to turn real estate from being a primary game into just an investment game, right? Where we actually made money, we put money in real estate rather than trying to make active income from real estate. We're like, that's not our game. Let's focus on the cleaning business as being an active form of our income. And so at that point we implemented what was called a vision meeting, which was basically us getting clear on goals for the cleaning company, and then sharing it with the team and saying, here's where we are, here's where our goals are, here's the gap, what do we got to do in order for us to be able to close the gap, right? And so at that time was my first weekly meeting that I did with the team, and that was not with the cleaners, but it was with the office staff. So it was with the sales, it was with the customer support, it was with our virtual assistants, all the people on the back end who have the opportunity to actually, put the right butts in the right seats, basically. And so that was that first meeting started in like late July, beginning of August. And so again, that's where the company was about $46,000. And then the month of December, we hit our first $50,000 month. And then the month of January, we hit $65,000, and then February was $69,000, and then March was $72,000, and then April was $75,000, and then we're sitting here today on the first day of June, the last day of May, and was yesterday, and we hit $86,000. And like full transparency, we're growing. Like we are like investing that money back into our team. We have a full-time recruiter now, we have a full-time salesperson, and that $83,000 a month, which if you guys are not familiar with, like what's the goal, is because that is $1 million a month run rate. So if you hit $83,000 for 12 months, you have $1 million business. And so that was our playoff goal, right? And so I love to use analogies about sports, because I grew up playing sports, I understand sports, and specifically football. I think most people have a decent understanding of football. And so we had and have 3 goals. Our first goal was our playoff goal, which was a big goal, right? It's a long season, and the first playoff goal was to hit $83,000. But is that the only goal? No, right? Because what happens to you hit $83,000? Like there's got to be another goal. There's got to be a continued vision. We've got to have continued things that we're trying to strive for. And so our conference championship goal is $100,000 a month goal. And then after that, we have our Super Bowl goal, right? And our Super Bowl goal is $2 million a year company, which is $166,000 a month. And so those are our 3 goals that we have set. And we actually have a Hall of Fame goal, but I'm not going to share that with you today. We hit our first goal, $82,000. And again, the reason why we hit that goal was nothing to do with me. It had little to do with my wife, and it had all of it to do with our team. And in fact, as I started to think about it, like the month of May specifically, our best month ever, I did not do a single clean, did not do a single sale, did not do a single team meeting, didn't talk to a single cleaner. My wife was in Italy for 2 weeks where she did not do anything. And outside those 2 weeks that she was in Italy, like she had 1 team meeting, she had one-on-ones with the key players on our team. But outside of that, it was like our team who actually did the work. Like our cleaners did the cleaning. We have 13 or 14 cleaners on our team right now that are full-time. We have a few part-time cleaners as well, full-time salesperson, full-time recruiter, customer support. We have, and then support technicians underneath them. And they all hustled and worked their butts off to make this goal happen. Make these, really, it was a dream. It was a dream in my head that I put out there to the universe. And you know what? They bought in. They wanted to be part of this. And honestly, it wasn't even them being part of it. Like it was actually them who did the thing. And so that was really, really cool to actually think about and experience that. Like the only reason this happened is because I got myself out of the way and I let somebody else step into that role and to be able to focus and put all their attention on what their job was. It was really, really cool. And it continued to remind me of that. I need to continue to set big goals, bigger goals. I need to continue to see the future, because the bigger, my vision is, the more that other people can fit their vision inside of mine, and then they can actually help me achieve my goals, and in return, they're able to achieve their goals and find out what their goals are. And so that was really, really cool to experience, and just how bought in our team was. Like a good example of is Katie D, who I mentioned earlier. She was our nanny, turned into our first cleaner. She is like somebody who I respect, still on our team today. She is like a role where she basically just does lots of things. She's done everything in the company. She's done sales, she's done recruiting, she's cleaning, she's done customer support, she's done it all. And she was like, if I have to, she's actually all over the United States. And she's like, hey, like if you guys need me, I can go clean on Wednesday, which was yesterday, to just ensure that they'll hit this goal. And one of our customer support techs named Rhea, she was like, hey guys, just want to let you know, like, hey, like we're gonna hit this goal. And she was all jacked about it. And it was just cool to see the team like rally together to make this dream, this goal come true. Because ultimately, the stat that I told them, and maybe the stat that you don't even know, is that only 9% of businesses in the United States actually ever reach $1 million revenue mark. And when it comes to cleaning businesses, like that's probably even less than that. And so what they were doing was something really, really special. And so when you have this story, like no matter what happens, no one can take the story from you that you created $1 million company. And it's really, really cool to be able to experience that and to be able to see it and be able to share it with other people, because that's the only way it would happen. Like I could never have done it myself. So that's why my fitness business could never actually get there, is because I was the fitness business guy. Like it was my identity, it was my baby, and I wouldn't let go enough to let other people be involved in it, to be able for them to be able to grow it, because I thought I was special. I thought I was the one who had to make it work. And it was a big limiting belief that stopped me in my fitness business, that when I started this cleaning business, I was like, hey, like I'm not going to like put my identity on this thing. I'm going to let the business grow how it needs to grow. And that's why it has done what it's done. All that being said, I don't know if there was any lessons in there, but I just wanted to really just document this for myself, for my team, and give lots of appreciation and gratitude for our team. Like the biggest appreciation, biggest gratitude is to my wife, Katie. She's been she's the one who's like believed in my crazy visions when they were just up here and there was no evidence out here for her to believe any of that stuff. She's always been there. She's trusted me, been literally like, I wouldn't say by my side, like she's been in the game with me. Like she literally plays the game with me. We have kids together, we raise family together, we do business together, we live life together. Super appreciative of her. And I guess my piece of advice in that whole thing is like, go find yourself a Katie, because when you have yourself a Katie, it allows you to get through the tough times, the obstacles, the adversity, and not just get through it, but makes you closer and makes it more meaningful. And super grateful for that. So hopefully you guys got some value from this. If you did, let me know. And if you guys have goals, to build $1 million cleaning company, like amazing. It's really, really cool. It's really, really fun. And if you're not part of the building $1 million cleaning business masterclass, like go get part of that. It's 100% free. Go get part of the Facebook group. We're actually building this really cool community that's also free as well. So without further ado, if you got any value from this, let me know. And if you know any other cleaning business owners who have aspirations to grow $1 million cleaning business, like get them to watch this video, share this video with them. Without further ado, let's go.